Yawning! Well, hello there, and welcome to a Q&A video celebrating 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. Let's get into it. This is going to be a bit quick. We're going to do a little bit of a speed run because there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions and not a lot of time. So here we go. What's your favorite fruit? I'd probably say either raspberry or probably mango. Probably mangoes. Not gonna lie. Not just because your name is Manguito, but because I legitimately do enjoy mangoes. Is your cat named after Tom Sawyer? I think indirectly, maybe, but no, I don't think that's not the main motivation for it. There really is no main motivation, but I can talk about that more in a second. How do you write like you're running out of time? I don't know how to respond to this one, but it's a good song. What inspires you to make content? The voices. No, but all jokes aside, legitimately the viewers. That's my main motivation with it. And you guys watching and giving me feedback and enjoying the videos, that's why I do it and that's why I love it. Favorite music genre, least favorite music genre, favorite TV show growing up, favorite bad movie, favorite meme. Lots of favorites, lots of favorites. Favorite music genre is probably rock. I think just like some classic rock, some general good, just like alternative rock. I think that's kind of my vibe. Least favorite music genre? I don't really have one because pretty much every music genre has like a decent, like, you know, song of some sort that kind of fits into that genre. So everywhere there's something good. Except for maybe mumble rap. I think mumble rap's maybe my least favorite. I think favorite TV show growing up was probably Phineas and Ferb. I watched that one the most. That was a good show. It still is a good show, and I still watch it today. So glad it's on Disney+. Favorite bad movie is Time Trap. And that's an inside joke with all of my friends, but man, is it like brilliantly shot with the most horrible story you will ever see on film. I think one of my favorite memes of all time is the sad cow looking out into the water. I think it's hilarious. I don't know why, that one just gets me every time. It's not something that really applies to so many situations, but it's just so good when it does. Where do you live so that we can come and stalk you, and how long are you working at OR? I live on Mars. I'm the third door down from Crater 4A. But don't knock on my door though, because it'll literally explode. I think I'm gonna probably work at Origin Realms as long as they'll have me, because this is honestly such a brilliant space, and I'm so proud to be on the team and helping out with this stuff. I love their community. The only things that would draw me away is if this picked up like big time, as if YouTube picked up like crazy and I didn't really have time for it, or I don't know, I guess if I was fired, but I don't know why I would be fired. Where did the name Knarfy and the skin come from? Well, the name Knarfy is a bit of a weird story. It started, my original gamer tag was Narf90342, and I didn't like that, so I turned it into Knarfy Man. And that was my sort of original account. And you can still see it in some of the oldest videos that I did with me and my buddies from KDM Entertainment, which was a whole thing in high school for me. You can still see that gamer tag, and I still have that gamer tag, and that's what I used to stream. And that was my main thing. I lost that account. And so it was hacked into and I couldn't get into it for the longest time. So I got a new account and I turned it into Knarfy. I just removed man at the end, and Knarfy, you know, had a nice ring to it, and that's kind of just what I've went with. It really doesn't have much sort of sentimental value, but the way I found it was, you know, turning the name Frank backwards and adding Y. Like that was the whole thing. There was literally no other motivation. I just realized I didn't answer the skin portion of this question. So the answer to that is basically, it started actually as a fox skin, so some people think it's a fox skin, and then I turned it into a polar bear, and then that polar bear skin was redesigned by Fiendly, who's an artist that does some amazing work, and then now that's my current skin. It's a polar bear fox hybrid that people don't really know what to call, and it's yeah, it doesn't have any sort of like sentimental value or anything. It's just kind of I just thought it was fun, and I thought it fit the name pretty well, so that's what I went for. Do you like cheese? Short answer, yes. Long answer, I am not super tolerant of dairy. Like, my system doesn't like that much, so I need to do it in like moderation, but cheese is like so good. Like, man, some like real good like cheese in general, like some good sharp cheddar, man, is that good. Does the depressing void of life in the universe having no meaning ever get in the way of making videos? yes. Do you think you'll get bored or quit Origin Realms anytime? I hope not. I don't think so. Burnout is definitely an issue, but I think I've found sort of ways to kind of get around burnout and kind of find new ways to do things. So I don't think I'll be really leaving it anytime soon. I don't plan on leaving Origin Realms anytime soon. I'm planning on sticking around at least until after release and after as many updates as possible. Planning on sticking around. I'm here for the long haul, folks. What other type of content do you plan to make in the future? Honestly, kind of whatever pops into my mind. I kind of want this platform to be something that is just kind of a creative outlet for me. I don't want it to be super pressured or anything. I don't want super structure. So I don't really have a lot of plans for content in the future, which is why I like to jump off of comments and which is why I just kind of go with the flow. So if you guys have ideas for things, legitimately drop them in the comments. Sometimes that's where I get my inspiration and you might see your idea as a video. Will you do other videos or games like Stardew Valley or stream them or do them for a video? I probably will. I think it just depends on the popularity of the game. So like Stardew Valley and stuff are great, but I don't think they're gonna bring in the views that I really want right now, especially if I'm trying to grow my channel a bit more. Origin Realms is really the main sort of, I don't know, I don't want to say clickbait title, but it's like the popular thing that people are searching, and it's kind of the niche that I'm trying to fit into right now. So that's kind of my goal. I might do some stuff on streams, that could be totally fun, but I think for now, videos and stuff will probably stick to Minecraft and Origin Realms. That's definitely not to say I'll never do those things in the future, but I think for now, we'll keep it with the simple Minecraft content. Do you see yourself passing 10,000 subscribers? Dude, I would love that. I honestly, like, this platform is great, but if I can continue to build this, this is like my dream job. Like, I mean, it's anyone's dream job, but I feel like I can do it and I can pull it off pretty well. So if I could do that, yeah, like, I'd love that. I think it'd be amazing. It just means putting in the work and putting in the time and being passionate about it, which I think I really am. Do you like bread? Short answer, yes. Long answer, bagels. What's been your all-time favorite memory on Origin Realms? I think probably, legitimately, the hashtag KFM stuff, which for those of you that don't know what hashtag KFM stands for, it was Knarfy for mod. So when I was applying for Moderator and all that stuff, a bunch of my friends kind of rallied together and we did our little hashtag KFM thing in chat, and we would confuse people with it, and it was hilarious because people didn't know what it meant. So people were coming up with trying to figure out what it was, and it was just super funny. So I think the hashtag KFM stuff was really great. My other favorite memory is definitely narfing people in all of the Knarfy onesies. That's just one of the most golden moments in all of Origin Realms history, in my opinion. I love it. I thought it was so good and so much fun. Where did the name Knarfy come from? Visionary, I think you missed it. If you go back a little bit, a couple minutes, I think, it's back there. You'll find it. You'll find it. What inspired you to be who you are now? What's the story behind it? Well, actually, that's a really good question. That's a deep question. I think the way that I am now kind of stems a lot from who I was at the end of high school going into college, because college completely threw my worldview all over the place and flipped my world upside down and my perception of myself and all that stuff. Lots of self-discovery. And the biggest thing that I learned is to be true to myself and to pretty much act the same with everyone. So the way that I act for you guys on camera and the way that I act with my friends, the way that I act at work, the way that I act with Origin Realms staff, all that stuff is all the same and it ties together. And even my family, like all those different places, it all is the same me. And I'm just trying to be the most legitimate and real person that I can be, and I hope that shows. What is your real name? Elon Musk. No, I'm kidding. My real name is Ryan, and if you want to call me that, you can, but a lot of people online know me as Knarfy, so if you want to call me Ryan, you can, but I'm known as Knarfy. Everyone knows me as Knarfy online, so you can stick with that. Questions about Mr. Sawyer. How does Sawyer act around new people? How old is Sawyer? Is there a backstory as to why you named him Sawyer? There's not really a backstory as to why I named him Sawyer. I think that just was a good name that kind of worked for him. He is going crazy in my living room right now. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so there's no real backstory as to the name. I just thought it rang nicely and it kind of fit him really well, and I thought it was I just thought it was a really nice name, and so that's kind of what I picked. I kind of just decided to keep that one. Sawyer acts really, really great around new people, actually. Usually he's like a little bit afraid at first, and then like they'll just, the people will be here for a little bit, and then he'll be like, oh, I like this person now, and just revs up and loves them. So he's very social and loves people, and it's very sweet. Also, I don't know the exact age for him since he was a stray, but I do know that the vet estimated around 1.5 years, so I have him for a while, which is super exciting. I love him. For context, those people that don't know, Sawyer is my cat. Why is Gamora? Because. Question for Knarfy, do you agree Neddo smells? Well, if I could smell through computer screens, maybe yes. Kidding, I love you, Neddo. I'm sorry. Are you really a polar bear? Are you really Dark Knarfy in disguise? What would make you think I'm Dark Knarfy? I'm not evil. You're evil. Creeper? I'm not gonna say it. I'm not. I'm just not gonna say it. Oh, man. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Have you ever washed your cats? Well, first of all, cats. I sure hope I don't have more than one cat because this is the first I've heard about it. And second, no, I have never washed him, but he probably does need a bath. I just don't think he's gonna accept it and want to, so just kind of put it off. I might do it sometime. He's pretty clean as is, so I'm not too worried. Why did you leave me and Mom? Because. Have you played Zelda? The only Zelda game I've played the entire way through is Breath of the Wild because, man, is that a good game. But I played with my brother a little bit. I played Wind Waker for a while, and that was also really good. I haven't really played any of the other ones, but Breath of the Wild is definitely my favorite. Shield or Totem of Undying? Well, I think obviously beginning game, go for the shield. But I think, you know, once you get to a point where it's like, oh, Totem of Undying makes more sense, go for the Totem of Undying. You gotta go for the Totem of Undying. You gotta go full force, you know, offensive on the attack, and the Totem of Undying lets you do that. So, no defense, only attack. Why is it called a building when it's already built? Because. Favorite game right now, favorite game growing up. You'll never guess my favorite game right now. You'll never guess it. It's definitely Wii Ski. Favorite game growing up, there was this super cool Hot Wheels game. I don't remember what it was or anything, but it was like you drive cars around, you have weapons on the cars. It was so sick, and I miss that game so much. If I can find it somewhere, I will have a nostalgia trip. It's just such a cool Hot Wheels game. I don't know, that was like my favorite game of all time growing up. It was that, and then it was Minecraft, because I discovered Minecraft in like, gosh, like 2007 or something. I don't know, whenever, it was like 1.3. I don't know when 1.3 came out, definitely not 2007, but I discovered it at 1.3, and man, that game has been just, it's stuck with me. It's just stuck with me. What is your ultimate #1 goal? Whether for YouTube or life, you decide. My #1 goal in general is just to make people laugh and enjoy life a little bit more. That's just kind of my, I feel like that's kind of my mission and my calling in life, is to just help people enjoy life more. My ultimate goal, I think, because I don't really want to be like rich and famous or anything. I just want to be like well off, like, you know, have worked enough to get to a point where I feel proud of where I'm at. That's kind of my ultimate goal. Are you the real Knarfy? No, I keep the real one in my closet, and I pull them out whenever I need inspiration. Is Dark Knarfy real, and can it hurt me? Well, he's not real. It's definitely not real. Do you have an evil altered ego IRL? Man, you guys are asking questions. I'm just gonna say no to all of them. Definitely don't have any other evil twin or anything. Nothing. Nope. Nothing. Why are you so cool? It's actually a subscription service. You can pay $9.99, and it's actually pretty great. If you want, I can pay for you. You know, there's my my tip link is down in the description. So, yeah, just saying. How did you become mod on Origin Realms? I applied, and I went through the application process, and they hired me. It's pretty cool. If animals could talk, which one would be the most annoying? I don't know why, but I feel like ducks. Like, you know how they're just so loud all the time? Like, they would just never stop talking to you. Like, constant. You're just walking by a lake and they just be like, hey you, talk to us, give us bread. I don't know why, that just feels like the one that would just be super annoying. Who is the coolest Origin Realms mod? Are you implying that I'm not the coolest Origin Realms mod? Who isn't the coolest Origin Realms mod? I'll give you a hint, it starts with S and ends with am. Well, I guess apparently it's me now. Tip top hen. Gosh. Some people. Can you give me the creator role? I can. But am I going to? Probably. Advice for small YouTubers, please. Hi there, so second day of editing for me. I don't think I answered this question super well, so I'm gonna just re-answer it now. New day, new hat, new shirt. That's what happened. I've got 3 tips for you. #1, up your thumbnail game. If it's not clickable, no one's gonna click on it, so make sure your thumbnails look good and are interesting. #2, keep the audience engaged throughout the entire video. If there's dead space, cut it out, unless it makes sense for a joke or something. Cut all the dead space out. If you're just sitting there, people are just watching, they have the opportunity to click away, and if they're not interested, they're gone. And #3, not something you hear a lot, but channel branding is huge. If you do not have a great icon for your channel, work on that, because that is something that people will see, and that is a big first impression for people. And sometimes it's a make or break for why someone will subscribe. So make sure that's good. Okay, back to standing, Narf. My question, do you have a girlfriend? I do not currently. I did for a few months, and she's wonderful. We broke off on good terms, and she's now off in college and that kind of a thing. So I don't currently, but I'm okay with that, and I'm content in my singleness. What was it like when you first became a moderator on Origin Realms? It was kind of surreal, especially since it's a server that I really admire and I really enjoyed. It was just kind of a neat moment to see my name in purple, because I had looked up to those people. Like, the people in purple were like, I don't know, they were like role models almost, and it was just kind of felt unattainable. And then once my name was in purple, it was like, oh my gosh, like, these are my people now. Like, I love this. So it was awesome. It was definitely a learning curve, but it has been phenomenal. Fuzzplace has a lot of questions here, but I'm gonna answer the first one only for now. What's some learning lessons that you've learned on Origin Realms that you could apply to life? Once again, another answer that I didn't really answer great in the original recording, so I'm gonna re-answer it now. I've had to deal with so many difficult people on the server, but just in everyday life as well. And that's not to say that they're, you know, that it's bad and that these people are bad people, but it's just they have different points of view than I do. Figuring out how to deal with those people and talk with them and still be respectful to them while trying to figure out a good either compromise or the right solution for whatever issue it is, that's been something that I've worked on a lot through this process, and something that I feel like I'm definitely going to take away and apply to everything. It's important to be able to work with pretty much anyone on a project, because you just really never know who you're going to be working with, and everyone's point of view does matter and is important, and you just have to approach those objectively and you know, enjoy people's opinions. Like, differing opinions will only make the situation better in the end. And yeah, really embracing that. That's been something that I have kind of grown in and really enjoyed. Back to standing. So yeah, thank you guys so much for all these questions. This was phenomenal, and what a great way to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. I so appreciate you guys. I'm sorry for the longer video, but I'm super excited for the future of this channel, and stay tuned for more cool stuff coming soon. Dark Knarfy cannot hurt you. I will keep him in my closet, and you will never have to worry about him. So bye-bye for now, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!